Liverpool-West Ham United probable match lineups. Premier League top sides Liverpool and West Ham United, both of whom picked up their opening Europa League wins in eerily similar circumstances, will face each other at Anfield on Sunday afternoon. The Reds came from behind to beat LASK Linz 3-1 in midweek, while the Hammers recovered from a one-goal deficit to beat Backa Topola in Europe. Coming from behind to triumph has been Liverpool's theme in the opening weeks of the 2023-2024 season and, just like at Molino last weekend, Jürgen Klopp's side sent a slow start into the history books with second-half goals. Florian Flecker's superb strike put the Austrians ahead in their Group E clash, Liverpool's first Europa League game in more than 7 years, but Darwin Núñez's penalty, Luis Diaz's first-time strike and Mohamed Salah's landmark goal ensured the Reds' return to Merseyside with maximum points. Salah's goal, Liverpool's 42nd in Europe, helped Klopp become the first Reds manager in history to reach 50 continental wins and his side go into the weekend on a 5-match winning streak in all competitions. However, they conceded the first goal in 4 of those games. However, fighting fire with more fire has been the way forward for Liverpool, who are in bronze medal position in the Premier League table. Despite their recent propensity for conceding the first goal, Liverpool's unbeaten run at Anfield has now extended to 14 games since a stunning 2-1 win over Leeds United last October, and they have failed to score in just one of their last 44 games at their Merseyside headquarters. On a slightly sour note, Liverpool's win over LASK Linz was marred by the forced substitution of starter Ryan Gravenberch, who looked particularly tired as he moved around the pitch in the second half. Klopp is hopeful that the Dutchman is only suffering from cramp, but Sunday's game is still expected to be too early for Trent Alexander-Arnold and Thiago Alcantara to return to competition. Klopp, who made 11 changes for the Europa League, is expected to give the green light to similar changes for the trip to West Ham, especially Diaz and Núñez. In the light of all this information, Klopp is expected to field the following 11: Alisson in goal, Gomez at right back, Konate and Van Dijk in the stopper tandem, Robertson at left back, Szoboszlai, McAllister and Jones in midfield, Salah on the right wing, Gakpo in the middle and Jota on the left wing. The Reds have made a major breakthrough in their brilliant contract negotiations. Liverpool have reportedly made a breakthrough on a new and improved contract for an influential Reds player, according to a new update. The Reds are in fine form at the moment, recovering from a poor 2022-2023 season and enjoying an eye-catching start to the current campaign. They have 4 wins and a draw in their first 5 Premier League matches and won 3-1 away to LASK in the Europa League on Thursday night. While the club has brought in a number of new signings, many of whom have impressed since their arrival, it is also key to retain some of the club's most important players. 2 of them are arguably Mohamed Salah and Trent Alexander-Arnold. The former is wanted by Saudi Pro League side Al Ittihad, and a £150 million bid for him was turned down by Liverpool. Meanwhile, the Egyptian's contract expires in 2025, so time is slowly running out. Now, as the Reds look to hold on to one of their potential future captains for as long as possible, an important development has emerged regarding his future. According to Football Insider, there has been a significant breakthrough in talks between Liverpool and Alexander-Arnold over an extension to his stay at Anfield. Sources close to the club say Liverpool have reached an agreement in principle with Trent Alexander-Arnold on a new contract. The 24-year-old has less than 2 years left on his current deal, and the Merseysiders want to end speculation over his future. Leading clubs in England and Europe are keen to prize the right back away from Anfield, but a well-placed source close to the club says he is committed to Liverpool and has no plans to leave. It is believed that all parties are keen to reach an agreement and extend his contract. This is of course very important news for Liverpool. Alexander-Arnold is a representative of the club, having grown up as a Reds fan and progressed through the youth team to become a world-class talent. At just 24, the Englishman has at least a decade ahead of him at the club, and the hope is that he will become a legend like his childhood hero Steven Gerrard. He is certainly happy where he is, especially with Jürgen Klopp turning things around after a subpar season, and seems to be enjoying life in his new hybrid role. The fact that Alexander-Arnold has been hailed as world-class by former Barcelona and Brazil right-back Dani Alves says a lot about his brilliance as a footballer, and journalist Neil Jones has described him as a genius. Salah may not be around forever at the age of 31, but in Alexander-Arnold, Liverpool have someone who could one day replace Virgil van Dijk as permanent captain and become one of the greatest players in the club's history. Stefan Burke's evolution has only just begun, and Jürgen Klopp knows what Liverpool must do next. It's been a long wait for Stefan Burke, who was injured last season. He finally returned in a Liverpool shirt against LASK, but the role Jürgen Klopp asked him to play was probably not one the youngster would have expected to return to. Klopp preferred to play Burke as a right-back. This choice by the Liverpool boss was more out of necessity than a clever tactical touch. With Trent Alexander-Arnold injured and Joe Gomez in need of rest, Burke was the most natural option to play in that position in the Liverpool squad, especially with Conor Bradley also injured. Burke is not an unusual player for this position. In the academy, he often played as a stopper and occasionally at right back. However, it would be an exaggeration to say that he is extremely comfortable in this position. Still, he stepped up against LASK and, to be fair to Burke, did more than just one shift. Given that it was his first game in a Liverpool shirt in almost 6 months and he was asked to play in an unfamiliar position, the fact that he created the most chances on the pitch after halftime suggests that he more than filled that role. Tasked with playing at right back, Alexander-Arnold's new opposite position, Burke did well to take central positions and was especially promising with the ball. Not only did he create chances, but similar to Alexander-Arnold, he was also very good at changing the game. He made 9 long passes in total and completed 7 of them. Defensively he perhaps struggled a bit, winning 3 of his 8 duels, but to be honest this is an area where even Alexander-Arnold sometimes struggles. Given that it was his first game back at the club after a long absence and he came into a makeshift Liverpool team with Ryan Gravenberch making his debut, Wataru End relatively new in midfield and Ben Doak up front, mistakes are to be expected. In the end, the substitution was probably due more to Klopp wanting to manage him carefully than to his performance. The 60 minutes he was on the pitch was more than enough for him given the circumstances. There is much more to come from this 18-year-old. Klopp's confidence in playing Burke as a right-back is clear. His football intelligence is really good, good vision, good passing, lots of good things, Klopp said of Burke in pre-season. But he's still very young and we have to make sure we use him in the right way, in the right moments, and we have to increase the time step by step. The fact that at 18 he has already played in 3 different roles for Liverpool's first team shows Burke's tactical acumen and versatility. Players like him are a rarity in the modern game and an important component of Klopp's squad. The Liverpool boss enjoys working with players who are adaptable and can be used and molded into how he wants them to play. Klopp's work with Burke has only just begun, and the LASK game was another sign of the youngster's evolution over the coming years.